Show! Dogman Show! Dogman Show! Dogman Show! It's the Dogman Show.
Season 2, Episode 2, Part 2. Due to some technical difficulties, Part 1 was clipped, so we lost a few bits, but never fear, Part 2 is here. Billy was summoned by the High Council, and he had to rush off, but I figured instead of just leaving you with an outro, I'd make this a double episode. That way Billy Blitzkrieg has something to see back at his home dojo. Now, thoughts of Cowboy Bebop. They did a live action Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. It was very, very strange. We discussed Duke Nukem, Doom, Code Monkeys. A lot of stuff got covered in that last segment. It's a shame we lost it, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, we were discussing distractions from the dull roar of existence. Video games have become like cinematic, almost in a level of movies, discussing Metal Gear 3 and such. Snake Eater, man, all dick jokes aside, that fucking game, Civil War era, almost James Bond-esque. I mean, he's taking on the communists, he's taking on like rogue divisions, paramilitary groups, even pseudo-paranormal like elements. He's just such a distinct character, the boss, or Snake, whatever, Naked Snake, Venomous Snake, depending on which version you're playing. But yeah. Hello? What do you mean, Metal Gear? I always love that. I had to do that bit. Metal Gear has comics, multiple video games, and now like even the sidekick, Raiden or Jack or whatever, he has his own fucking game. Doom has got a shit ton of games. Doom 64. I played Doom 3. We played the old ones back in the day. Fighting Hitler's brain in a jar. All stuff, yeah. I feel bad that we didn't get to really cover. But moving further still, there are games that don't really make a big splash over here. Or series sometimes that don't make a big splash over here. And they are just amazing. Anime and video games. Like, this is what we ever talk about. It's anime, comics, video games. You know what I mean? Occasionally it was rock and roll, pro wrestling, drugs, sex. This, you know, some cool stuff. Adulting on a rare occasion. But there are shows like Blade of the Immortal. Like, if you want to see some sword swinging, just brutality, Manji is the guy fucking for you. Just kills people, takes their weapons, and then uses them to kill more people. It's absolute, like, RPG, you know what I mean? Dark Soul, he would play Dark Souls pretty easily. And then all this, like, ninja game shit is really been popular lately. She was in Sekiro or whatever. Sexy Souls. Ninja's Bust twice. Now, Assassin's Creed. Even I don't play very much Assassin's Creed. I played a tiny bit of it, but just to see the effect, it got a shitty movie. It got a bunch of iterations of Valhalla, Odyssey. You know, they're covering all the mythology that I like for sure. Ancient Rome, ancient Greece, ancient Egypt. I think that's all super fucking cool. But new games are getting better and better and better and better, and I love it. There was Marvel vs. Capcom 3 pretty recently, Ultimate. And I mean, you get to play as Deadpool. And I mean, everyone loves Deadpool right now. He's such a fucking flavor of the month or whatever, but he was cool. He'd been cool for a long time. There's so many fucking comics of Deadpool, like where he's taking on Carnage, he's taking all these different fucking amazing characters. And it's a shame that it took whatever Ryan Reynolds to make him a popular character, because yeah. Could not figure that out. The whole thing where they gave him everyone's powers too, that was crazy. The X-Men Origins Wolverine, they cut his head off, and then in the Deadpool movie, there's back in time, and he fucks with all that. I love time travel movies. Like, speaking of gory and like fucking shit up, Attack on Titan is fucking brutal. That recently got popular, but I'm sure that they had already had 2 movies and shit made over there before we even got wind of it. I remember Gurren Lagann or Gurren Lagann, whatever. I just said that was cool. What else? I keep thinking of FLCL, and that did make a splash over here. But I mean, it made such a splash too. They did the follow up to the new whatever series of it. It was interesting. I ended up getting to watch it. Was it alternative and something a remix or something like that? I can't remember exactly. But get to see what old medical mechanic is up to. But I mean, it's a shame you don't get to see how that whole story ended. The first story with Mamimi and Naota. I'm trying to think of what else. Because we're popping out suggestions here. If you have seen it, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen them, then there you go. Something new to check out. I'm trying to think. Sherlock Holmes is good, and there's a lot of different iterations of Sherlock Holmes. I think that's worth looking into. That and is it Jeremy Brett, Edward Hawksworth? That is a TV series, and it's pretty damn good. I've already talked up Twin Peaks. It's not really an anime, although it could be. Well, how weird it is. So, season 2, what do you do? I keep thinking that it's going to eventually, this will reveal itself to me and become this like, oh no, that's perfect. And I kind of am feeling the vibes. I'm getting more into the swing of the show. I'm trying to figure out what you guys like, what you don't like. And ultimately I gotta remember that I'm presenting a project of stuff that I like to see if you guys like it. But I have to like it first. I can't just leave it open ended like that. And you know, I'm glad to be able to share my thoughts and hobbies and even my madness with other honest people out there. Even if you're just laughing, it's better than being miserable. So, I would love to do either like a live concert and have people like either battle of the bands, something like that. But everyone's so scared of the COVID shit, I don't even know. Might just end up doing some impromptu hobo concert and record it. The Dogman Show live. Da-da. That would be pretty wicked, but only time will tell. We've been collaborating with a lot of prominent artists in town, and I think you out there got our number, and we got yours. Trying to think about what the next wave of this whole isolation and COVID and bullshit is going to bring on to the world. Because so far, I ain't seen too many good goddamn movies. Usually, when stuff gets kind of horrible or boring or, you know, whatever, there's upheaval and turmoil, etc., acrimony, what have you. Pop culture tends to shit out a few gold nuggets here and there. And I feel like we have been sorely cheated. Everything's been a remake of a remake of a remake, and it's really a bummer. Because there's so many cool new projects, or even not even saying quote unquote new, like they just got into Y the Last Man, and like it took ages before Walking Dead got a fair shake. Kick Ass was another project that was just like a comic book that really came from nowhere. It was amazing though. And I don't think we're gonna be too psyched about these. Like, one of the last movies I saw that I can think of off the top of my head was like Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets, and it all reminded me of like a Fifth Element. And yeah, I know like John-Luc Besson was supposed to be this action director or something, part of it, and yeah. I heard someone describe it as, even for sci-fi, it's hard to keep your interest. It's super fast-paced, but not in an interesting way. It's in a sort of distracting way. And the fact that these characters don't seem to be old enough to fit their position, and I'm like, the reviewer brought up some good points, and looking back on it, I was wondering why it hit my brain wrong. I just keep looking at them and like, what is going on? Why should I care? And like, it's cool, whatever. They're fast and they're blowing stuff up, and like, we're in one dimension, we're in another dimension, we're in another dimension, we're in another dimension, and then like, we're also in space. It had a cool history of like them shaking hands, and then in the future, and shaking hands in the future, whatever. You know what's a cool story? Ghostbusters. It was so good that it merited seconds, and it really wasn't even a sequel. It was just like a rehashing. Like, hey, what if it happened this way? It was a pseudo sequel. Yeah, a lot of people don't like to remember the second one. Now, the idea of a cult having influence over an architect and like a building being designed with paranormal intentions, and then all these like stars sort of line up, and yeah, the building starts having reactions, and yeah, it's amazing. And Dan Aykroyd's dad apparently was his dad or his grandfather, some kind of actual Ghostbuster, like a real ghost hunter, paranormal investigator. So he's fucking fantastically informed. And then they did the old lady one, which I'm gonna keep my nose out of because I haven't seen it yet. Now they're doing one with Paul Rudd, which I'm gonna I have no opinion because I haven't seen it yet. It seems like they were both kind of just grasping for money, whatever. Like, hey, let's use the kid from Stranger Things. But while we're on this ADD review, Stranger Things fucking blew my mind. Stranger Things was fantastic. The first episode of the kid just running away from, like, he doesn't even know what he's running away from. Just like something's moving through the dark, through the walls, and yeah, he's not even a punk, dude. He goes straight out to the shed, loads a shotgun, barricades himself in. Yeah, I mean, solid tactics. The kid's a survivor, and I mean, he's living in the Underdark or whatever it's called, the underground, underside, upside down. His friends are fucking true blue, though. If you don't have friends that would try to get you back from the other dimension, you don't have fucking friends. That is fucked up. Barb got left behind. No one tried to look for Barb. They even made a joke about it on SNL. She just like shows up in the cafeteria, like, what the fuck, you guys? 11 having like crazy psychic powers, and the other one is I haven't finished season 3 yet. I'm getting into season 3, so yeah. See, I'm human. I'm trying to catch up on different stuff here and there, and sometimes I just lose my interest in shit. It could be amazing, and wah. Depression, life, work, bullshit. It all kicks in, and just kind of lose the momentum on stuff. So there's been a lot of weird, like, paranormal stuff that has come up recently in town and in the general area. People talking about UFO sightings and things like that, and I think that's just fantastic. Let's see some weird shit happen, right? Just show up right in the middle of downtown, just land a UFO, like, hey, what's going on? It's a bunch of aliens that just all look like David Bowie. the man who fell to Earth. Klaatu Barada Nikto. See, now the Earth won't blow up. Awesome. So there are a couple of things that have just been kicking around. Wanted to throw out for season 2. One Piece, always good, man. Up past 1,000 episodes. God dang, man. Oda-san nailed it. This guy right here, the captain. Oh man, I think Straw Hat Luffy is one of those characters. He's so upbeat and friendly. I think he's one of the most like upbeat and friendly since like Goku. Goku would just like, yeah, you could have fought him yesterday and he'd be like, yeah, all right, yeah, what's going on? Let's go have lunch. He's really, really quick to forgive, especially like younger Goku. And I guess if you are the Ubermensch, you are the strongest being in the universe, or maybe, you know what I mean, in any universe, that Why hold grudges, right? Why hold grudges at all? Why worry? Goku doesn't seem like the type to worry. But One Punch Man, just an amazing fucking show. Uh, I don't know. I don't know how we did not give that a fair shake. I feel like because it hit hard, and then poof, and then it's like, well, where's season 3? You know what I mean? There's a time thing now, and I'm just like, are they gonna be? If they do make season 3, are they gonna be able to keep the audience? You know, because season 2 was, I don't know, I felt like it hit different than season 1, obviously, but what do we do about all this? I think before long, we'll have to reevaluate our place in the world as far as this entertainment thing goes, because too much mediocre garbage for too long. And I mean, I think that's 90% of the reason why anime took off in such a big way, is because we're really not producing a lot of great shit. And when we do, it's considered a cult classic. And oh, blah, blah, blah. This really, the kids will love this. And it's like, no. Well, maybe they will, but yeah. I dig this shit. I'm in my 30s. I think it's awesome. I liked it since I was in single digits, But I know some people didn't get into it till later. Even like, yeah, Bill, that's one of the things he likes to talk about, or doesn't like to talk about, but he discusses, is that, yeah, was raised kind of insulated from a lot of this pop culture stuff. So, yeah, like we're getting him into comics and guitar and shit like that. It's pretty badass. So when you're saying like, oh, anime or superheroes or whatever, and fuck, oh, that's for kids and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, this is a grown ass man who's getting into it. He thinks it's amazing. It cheers him up, cheers me up. And we have a lot of friends. I'm sure a lot of you guys love fucking anime. Superheroes. Like, the thought of Goku fucking fighting Superman or Saitama for One Punch Man. Like, all that, yeah, that was amazing. We have produced a lot of repeat, rehash, copy. And even our legends and myths are considered hackneyed and played out. It's like, I see another cowboy thing, another space guy thing, another whatever in the fuck. You know what I mean? There's only so many formulas you can go to before you're like, oh, well, seen it. And it's not about necessarily a new and different formula. It's make me give a shit about the characters. Write it well. Archer, I think, proved that. You can write in any genre. You can write any whatever, blah, blah, blah. He went from old-timey to World War II jungle to alternate space future 1995 in space. I mean, the biggest detective agency, they went everywhere. They saved the fucking world. They were just bumming around, like they went back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, they were coke dealers. They tried to form a cartel. Like, Archer went everywhere, and they showed the versatility of story and the strength of characters. And what does it say about? This is another old timey saying. We'd watch them read the phone book. Now, I'm going to close this off before I go too long and say, Dogman Season 2 was made because we care. We care about you. We want to distract you from the dull roar of existence and give you some alternatives to the same old thing. And occasionally, shoot the shit. And we want you to feel like, even if you don't have any friends, the Dogman Show is here for you. Thank you for joining us for Season 2, Episode 2, Part 2. And with that, I say, off with their heads.